Trying to get the live chat going, so okay. Trying to get the live chat going, so okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing today? We're going to go ahead and do the DFS roundtable. We're going to do the whole breakdown of the whole slate, along with the value plays, along with the top plays, and review some of the stuff that we want to go over. Excuse me. First thing first, I like to do is basically go over the Vegas part, the Vegas and pace factor. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, the first game we have on slate is, actually, let's go from worst to best games like we always do. The worst game today to target is probably Miami versus Denver. More than likely, it's going to be on Miami's side. They're a very slow-paced team. Miami is dealing with injuries right now. Goran Dragic is hurt. And I like Tyler Johnson to pick up that production. Tyler Johnson is a very solid per-minute player. He gets a lot of points, and he gets rebounds and assists. He's kind of like a Jason Williams, but not really with the passing. He's just more like he's everywhere. And right now, Wade is dealing with a sore shoulder. So I'm kind of leaning, going away from Wade and pivoting to other people. So with that shoulder injury, he's been shooting about only 30% in the last couple games. So that kind of does worry me a little bit. The other thing that worries me is Hassan Whiteside is questionable, but he's going to play. That's what they're saying. The only thing that I don't like about that is that he's been dealing with that knee injury, and the Denver Nuggets love to go on high pace sometimes. They just love to go up and down the court, so that kind of worries me a little bit. Probably not going to be on Hassan Whiteside too much tonight. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. Can everybody hear me? I just want to make sure everybody can hear me and stuff. So if you can, just type on the chat row if you're here. Okay, great. All right. Just want to make sure that everybody can hear me because, I mean, I don't know if you guys are there or not. I mean, I know we got viewership and stuff, but sometimes people just click in, view, and then that's it. All right, so basically back on the Miami game, I love Guy in this situation. Luol Deng is not the player he used to be, and I believe he's slower, and he's overpaid. I think he's overrated too. He used to be a great – yeah, we'll get you back on track, Jacob. He used to be a really great defender, but now he's kind of limited. But I actually really do like Guy in this matchup. He's in my top 5 for sure. One of the things that I was looking at on this game is the pace. The pace of this game is very interesting. One side down, the other side up. So I don't know who's going to do good, but The Vegas over and under is at 193. So I'm going to guess Miami should be able to dominate this game, and it'll be a low game. So I probably don't want to target too much of this game. If anything, I'm going to go after Gerald Green for value and Tyler Johnson for value. But I'm not going to target like the main players like Hassan Whiteside or Dwayne Wade. I do like Guile, and I do like what's his name? Jokic, I believe his name is. The center from their team. Hold on, let me double check on that though. One second, guys. Yeah, Nikola Jokic. He's the center I want to target today with their team. Another thing I was looking at is the defense first position on that, because people don't realize how important it can be sometimes in a lower pace game. So basically, we know that Hassan Whiteside is a good center. Miami is one of the best defensive teams, but Denver is actually, excuse me, guys. Denver, if you guys look at their defense first position on the spreadsheet, if you guys see the spreadsheet, is 18th against center, 27th against power forward, and then the weakest against point guard, 28th. So that's the big reason why I like Dragic, and then I like Jokic. Inside, they're very weak. So I'm gonna go ahead and target that. But then again, that's the lowest game. I'm not gonna target too much. I'm not gonna have a lot of exposure to it. But the next game that we have on the slate is Oklahoma City Thunder versus Minnesota. Now, this game is very interesting because the blowout is supposed to be for 12.5. The thing is, for me, I don't. I guess you can say I don't put too much mind to the blowout, because if you really think about it, the other day they were supposed to get blown out by 16 points. I think OKC was supposed to blow them out, and what's their name? The Minnesota Timberwolves actually kept it to a 5-point game, so I'm not too worried about that. And basically, so if it's a blowout, they're saying that, they're claiming that, but I don't believe in that. So I'm gonna go ahead and not believe the spread. The other thing that I was looking at on this game is Russell Westbrook. The guy is really good. We all know that. The game pace is really high, so it always goes toward usage for the point guard. So basically, the usage goes towards the point guard. And I just watched Ricky Rubio turn the ball over 8 times yesterday, or was it the other day? It was the other day. He turned it back. He turned the ball 8 times, turned it over 8 times. So I can see Westbrook getting a lot of steals in this game. Another thing was that Karl Anthony Towns is very hard to predict. Sometimes he can have a good game. He should be able to dominate Canada, but it just makes it unpredictable. So basically, the only players I'll be targeting from this game: Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Shabazz Muhammad for value at shooting forward. He's only 3,800, and he put up 24 points last time out, I believe, or around there. And Andrew Wiggins, I like him too. And then at point guard, I'm not big on Rubio. I see other point guards that I like Isaiah Thomas, Damian Lillard, John Wall, other point guards. So basically, it's a 208.5 point spread. So it is a high-scoring game, and it is a high-paced game. The only thing that worries everybody is about the blowout. But like I said, don't pay attention too much to it. But I'm going to go ahead and have some exposure to this game. And I like the values there in Shabazz Muhammad. For the Portland and the Brooklyn game, this game is actually one of the games that I think will be avoided by a lot of people, but they don't see the fantasy richness in it or the goodness in it. I like Damian Lillard a lot in this slate. He's probably my number one point guard, and I really think his usage rate and his point per minute is very high. And he's facing Brooklyn, which is one of the worst point against the point guard. So I like this game, and it's supposed to be a very close game. It's a 202 over under and a 3.5 spread. So I expect Lillard to get like 35, 40 points. And that's regular points. So I really think he's going to have a monster game today. I really like him. I think he'll have a 50-point game, maybe. Now, the thing is, if I like Lillard, I'm not going to be on CJ McCollum too much because CJ McCollum is actually lost a lot of usage rate, and he hasn't hit value at all in the last couple of times. If you guys look at him real close, CJ McCollum, hold on, let me pull up his stat. Okay, so CJ McCollum has only met value one time in the last 5 games, the last 4 games. He was injured one game. He only had one good game, and that's 39 points against OKC. So basically, he hit a 26 point, 24 point, 23 point. And when you're paying $8,000 for a shooting guard like that, I'd rather not go down that road. So I'm going to go ahead and fade him today. On the Jimmy Butler, hold on, I'll get to him in a second. I was just looking at his stats. All right. So basically, on that game, I like Brook Lopez too. Portland has a very weak defense. As a matter of fact, one of the weakest defense I've seen recently. And Brook Lopez, he'd love to go to the post and just get points that way. And I think he'll draw a lot of foul troubles to them and cause havoc. So Brook Lopez is my number one center today. I do like him a lot. And this game's going to be close. So it could go into overtime. You never know. And Brook Lopez, Thaddeus Young are in play for sure. And then on Portland side, I have Damian Lillard, and that's about it. I mean, Mason Plumlee can be a sneaky play, but I'd rather not go too much with it. I do like Al-Farouq Aminu. He could be sneaky. The teams that I was looking at is mostly Brook Lopez, Thaddeus Young, and Damian Lillard. On the Atlanta-Milwaukee game, let's see. Milwaukee's been really great lately. Like they've been scoring a lot of points, and people don't notice that about them. But they've actually been scoring over 210 and above total points with teams in the last 5 games or so, and they actually keep it really close. And so for for Atlanta versus Milwaukee, I like this game. I like Greg Monroe. I like Greg Monroe, Jabari Parker for value, Giannis, what's his name? Chris Middleton, and I like Michael Carter Williams, but I'm not going to have too much exposure to him. I can see him getting probably like a 35-point game, but I mean I'm on other point guards. I don't really want him because this is kind of a lower pace game, probably the lowest pace game of the day, but it has a good Vegas spread, but it's the lowest pace game of the game. So I like to target high pace with my point guards. So I'm not on Michael Carter Williams too much. I hate Jeff Teague, and Dennis Schroeder is just up and down, too inconsistent. Kent Bazemore, I'm not on him too much. He's okay. He's not a bad player in this game. But other than that, I'm targeting more Milwaukee side. And then on Atlanta side, I'm only going to have Horford and Millsap. Horford and Millsap should dominate these guys. I mean, Milwaukee's pretty down at the bottom against power forward and center. So I like Horford and Millsap a lot. Now let's go ahead and go to Washington versus Indiana. I will say this. I have a lot of exposure to Paul George tonight. I love Paul George. Paul George is going to be facing Kelly Oubre because Otto Porter is out. And if you guys receive news, like breaking news, please tell me because I'm doing this and I'm trying to help you guys. So if I get any news, I can update you guys too. Washington versus Indiana. So basically, yeah, I'm big on Kelly Porter. Hold on 1 second, guys. Yeah, so I'm big on Kelly. I mean, not Kelly Porter. Paul George. Paul George should have a big game. Last time he played him, he had a 55-point game. So I expect him to have a better, not a 55, maybe like a 45, 49. But his salary actually dropped from the last time he played him. So I like it a lot. So I don't see. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get something real going. I don't see Washington stopping them, and they have the highest pace against. They have the highest pace in the league. And so against Indiana has a slower pace. The pace of the game is still positive, so I do like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep going with that game. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm trying to take care of something. Yeah, so basically, I like Paul George. I like Ian Mahaney. With no Marcin Gortat there, their interior defense is actually weaker. So I don't fear the interior defense. And it depends what lineup they roll, because sometimes they roll Lavoy Allen and Ian Mahaney, and then they put Paul George at the shooting forward. But if they roll with the Ian Mahaney, Paul George, and then CJ Miles will appear on my list, and I will like him. Um, for the Washington side, I only like John Wall. John Wall basically is the only guy I'm on. I can't trust any of the other guys. What John Wall, he's been doing really good, been kind of consistent. He's a little bit banged up, but I still trust him. I mean, let's see. He got 35 points last game, but the 2 games before that, he got 44 and 46. So I do like him there. He this game should be good. And right now, George Hill is questionable, so they don't know if he's gonna play. And George Hill is one of the better defenders at point guard. So if he doesn't play, it makes Wall a better play. But like I said, point guard's really deep, so you can really choose who you want. Excuse me. But so it's very tricky tonight on point guard, but that's the route I would go on him. So basically, the next game we have is, let's see. And if I miss any players that you guys have a question about on the game, please tell me, and I'll answer your question. We have Cleveland versus Houston. This game's kind of frustrating for me because more than anything, Cleveland's going to be tired on that back-to-back. And the thing is, with Cleveland, they're playing Houston, which is a high-paced team at home, and they're a really high-paced team. And Cleveland's actually a really low-paced team, so I can't predict which way it would go. But if anything, it says that Cleveland's going to win by 1.5, so I can predict that Cleveland's going to lower the pace down. But the thing is, with Cleveland, is that they can score in a bunches. So J.R. Smith is in play, Kyrie Irving's in play because they're horrible against point guard, and Kevin Love's in play. Houston is very, very bad against defense. They're the fourth worst defense overall. I mean, they're ranked 26 against shooting guard, 26 against shooting forward, 30th against power forward, and then 13 and 16, 13 at center. But I really don't think Howard's an elite center anymore at defending. So, but either way, there's no center to play on Cleveland Cavaliers. But at point guard, I do like Kyrie Irving. Beverly's supposed to be out probably, so they don't know if he's gonna play. Actually, let me double check that because I haven't even seen the news yet. Anybody know if he's gonna play or anything? I guess Beverly is back. He had a personal issue. He wasn't hurt or anything. I'm guessing it was a family matter. But Beverly is back. So, but I don't know if they said they're gonna play him or not. So let me go ahead and look. Patrick Beverly was in attendance at the Rocket morning shoot around. Yeah, he should be back in the starting lineup tonight. I really don't think Patrick Beverly will slow down Kyrie either way, but that's the thing with Kyrie. He's the ultimate GPP player. Like he can either do really shitty or really great. Like yesterday, I was really high on him. He screwed me over. Him and Bobby Portis thanks a lot, but I still profited, so I wasn't too mad. But still, Kyrie Irving, you killed me, man. You could have carried a lot of good teams that I had in tournament. But so I like LeBron, I like Kevin Love, I like Kyrie, and then on the Houston side, I actually like Dwight Howard because Dwight Howard is one of those players that if you put him against centers that get a lot of fouls like Mozgov, um, he kind of gets those double doubles and stuff. So basically, after that, let's see, we got. Or anybody else on Houston? There's nobody else besides James Harden, Dwight Howard. I do like Terrence Jones for value, but I actually found better value. I'm gonna go with the next guy that I'm gonna say. The pace is very slow. The over and under is at 205, but I think it's probably gonna be lower than that. Vegas likes this game, but personally, me, it could be a high-scoring game, but it's very tricky, like I said. The next game is Charlotte versus New Orleans Pelicans. Me, myself, I like this game a lot because neither of these teams can play defense. So it'll be great. Dalvey, let me go ahead and finish this real quick, the breakdown, then we'll go into questions and asking questions and stuff. Um, so yeah, Charlotte versus New Orleans Pelicans. I love this game. There's a lot of sweet, rich fantasy point values here. I like Cody Zeller. I like Nikola Batum. I like Kemba Walker. I actually love Kemba Walker. I think he's gonna have a big game in this game. He always New Orleans Pelican. I haven't heard any news on Tyreek Evans, so I'm waiting on that news. So if anybody hears any news, just tell me and I'll go ahead and update it on the spreadsheet. If Tyreek Evans out, I'm gonna have a lot of shares of Drew Holiday because Charlotte is one of the worst against the point guard position. Actually, they're not one of the worst. I mean, it's just Drew Holiday price is too great to pass up on with the usage that he's going to get in the starting minute. I apologize about that. They're actually pretty good against the point guard, but with the usage and everything they're going to get, I'm going to be on him. And the over and under is the 202.5, so I like it. And it's supposed to be a 2.5 for New Orleans Pelicans to win, so it's going to be a very close game. And I like Anthony Davis in this game. Would I pay up for him? Yes. Do I want him in a lot of my lineup? No. The thing about Anthony Davis, he's very injury prone, and on a slate like tonight where there's a lot of good position players, top players with great matchup, I'm not going to be playing too much of Anthony Davis, but I will have exposure to him. Let's see. I love Cody Zeller today. New Orleans Pelicans are one of the worst against power forward and center, so I'm going to be on Cody Zeller for a value play, that's for sure. Okay, next game we have is Dallas versus Chicago. I believe Jeremy Lin and Jeremy Lamb are both out, so PJ Hurston could be a value play, but I'm not going to be on him because he's too inconsistent. But double check that. Let me see anybody else on New Orleans Pelicans I like. Not really. Okay. So let's go to the Dallas-Chicago game. Now this game, Chicago is on a back-to-back. So on a back-to-back, I usually do this. I'll look at the total minutes they play. I'll look at the depth they have. Is he back? Let me go ahead and double check that. I thought they said he was out, but All right, Jeremy Lin with the Mohawk. Okay. Okay, so Jeremy Lamb is out for sure. I think Jeremy Lin should play then because they're not saying any news about him. Jeremy Lin should be good to go. So Jeremy Lin will see the most value out of this. So I like Jeremy Lin tonight, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and put him into play because against Charlotte, they're terrible against the shooting guard. So I'm gonna have some exposure to Jeremy Lin. He plays shooting guard, but they'll have him listed as point guard on FanDuel. So he is a good play today, and his prices shouldn't be too expensive either, I believe. So let me double check on his price. I believe it's probably like 5,400. No, that's pretty good. Yeah, 5,400. They have him. My algorithm has him projected for about. Let's see. About 29 points. So it does like him a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put Jeremy Lin on the list. So I do like Jeremy Lin tonight. That's great because he opens up great value. I didn't want to roll. I didn't like Donald Sloan at all, so I'm going to go ahead and take him off. One second, guys. I'm updating a spreadsheet real quick. All right, so let's get back to this real quick. So yeah, Jeremy Lin's a good play. So let's go to the next game. We got to get through this real quick because we already taken up some time. Okay. So Dallas, Chicago. I like Jimmy Butler. He did play a lot of minutes last night. He does have that ankle injury, so you have to be on the lookout to see if he's going to get reduced minutes as well, if he's actually going to play. They haven't announced anything yet on the Chicago line because if Gasol's out, I'm going to be all over Noah and Gibson. Mostly Noah because power forward, I like other options better. And then also Jimmy Butler because Dallas is not a great defensive team, so I don't like them. All right, so I don't like the Wesley Matthews defense against Jimmy Butler. At point guard, I'm not on Aaron Brooks. I'm not on Kirk Heinrich. I'm just not touching that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people learned their lessons last night. For the Dallas side, I'm on all of their players. And when I mean all of their players, I mean Zaza, Dirk. I like Parson a little bit, but mostly Zaza and Dirk I'll be targeting. I don't want to touch the point guard situation because I don't know what to trust there, and I don't. In this matchup, it's just not ideal for me. I'd rather have just Zaza and Dirk on most of my rosters since I have other value, other top plays opening. On the Dallas side, that's about it. Chicago, Noah. This game, very high-paced game. Let's see, it's the fourth highest-paced game today. The over and under is very close. The spread is very close. It's a 1 for Dallas. So I expect this game to be very close. It's just Chicago has to announce all their starters and stuff. Without us knowing that, we won't know who to target on Chicago. So if you guys hear any news on that in the next 2 hours, let me know. I'm pretty sure I'll have an alert on it. Phoenix versus Boston. This game's actually the highest paced game, the highest Vegas game, 209.5, and Boston's supposed to win by 9 points. Boston's supposed to win by 9 points, so it should be an interesting game to target. I like this game for like Amir Johnson, Avery Bradley, Isaiah Thomas on the Boston side, and then on the Phoenix side, it's just frustrating to actually like, how do I put this? Target any of the big guys because they go with such a messed up rotation that I don't like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just avoid the big guys there, but I am gonna be on PJ Tucker, Brandon Knight, and a little bit of exposure to TJ Warren and what's his name? Devin Booker. I don't want too much exposure to Devin Booker because Jimmy Butler is an elite defender. So I don't see much value for Devin Booker. I mean, he's not that great of a player to give what's his name, Jimmy Butler, a headache or anything. But then again, it's the highest paced game and stuff, so it's pretty interesting to target. I do like it, so I'm gonna go ahead and target this game quite a bit with all those players that I just mentioned. But this is the highest paced game, the best game to target, so make sure you have some exposure to it. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and answer a few questions, and then after that, I'm gonna stop, and then we're gonna go ahead and go over the top plays. So go ahead and start asking questions. Pachulia, I do like Pachulia today. He's my fifth best center. Pachulia should have a great game against Chicago. Chicago is one of the worst against centers. So I see Pachulia having like a 30-point game, and that's FanDuel point, not of course. Whiteside is starting. I like Jokic with his price. He can do pretty decent. So I do like Jokic. Like I said, I do like Jeremy Lin. So Jeremy Lin's in play for me. All right. Anybody else got any more questions? No thanks. I don't like Udris. Udris is just his point per minute to fantasy points aren't that high. I prefer Tyler Johnson because he can actually score, and he likes to shoot the ball a lot, and he does a little bit of everything. Udris to me just like a rotational player. So I'm not gonna play Udris, but I do like Tyler Johnson. Matt, I do love Guile and I do like Wiggin. I like both of them. They're slightly underneath my two. Well, actually, Wiggin slightly outside my top 5, but they're both in good position to have to thrive. I think Danilo Gallinari's usage is just too high. I mean, the guy just shoots the ball a lot, and there's nobody else on the Denver Nuggets that can really shoot unlike him. Yeah, I do think Eric Gordon's worth a look. He's a value player of mine. I do like him, but once again, there's a lot of value today at shooting guard. There's Gerald Green, there's Eric Gordon, there's Avery Bradley, there's who else do I have? Let me look real quick. There's J.R. Smith. I mean, there's a lot of value at shooting guard. So I think shooting guard probably going to be one of the positions I'm not going to pay up for. I will have some James Harden because I do like him tonight. But other than that, yeah, I do like Eric Gordon. But again, Eric Gordon is one of those players that's really, really frustrating to like basically, He's a boomer bust player, to be honest. Okay. Checking the news, making sure I'm not missing anything. I would say J.R. Smith over Eric Gordon. Uh, I always try to get any defense going against any shooting guard going against James Harden. James Harden's defense is so freaking awful. I mean, I think I don't even know how to tell you guys. It's just it's horrible. It's just horrible. I think he's a cancer to that team, James Harden. He's the best player, but he's a cancer. He has no defense, and he he doesn't have will. You know what I mean? But okay. So yeah, J.R. Smith over Eric Gordon, Lillard and Bradley, or Thomas and Wiggin combo. Um, I'm gonna go Lillard and Bradley. I like Lillard and Bradley better. Lillard upside today is just too much, it's too big. I love his upside. It's gonna be great. So I'm gonna go Lillard and Bradley. All right. Any more questions, guys? I'm going to Amir and Zeller in a heartbeat. I like Amir and Zeller, that's for sure. Amir's just been on fire. He's been playing different and really good lately. He's my top value at center, so I'm going to do Amir and Zeller for sure. Anybody got any update on the Chicago situation? Trying to find some update. You can get my spreadsheet right now if you want. You just got to make the payment and I'll send it to you. Okay, so there's no update on the Bulls situation yet, so I'm waiting for that. Because if the thing is with the Bulls situation, if Noah's value opens up, I'm gonna take Jokic off my centers list because Noah can make up. So yeah. Okay, just trying to find out some news, guys. So just give me a few minutes. If you guys want to ask any questions, feel free to ask because I'm here to answer whatever questions you guys want. Okay, yeah, I'm not finding anything on Twitter, nothing on Roto World, nothing on. It's frustrating. Okay. Anybody got any news on the Bulls news? Yeah, go ahead and tweet Fantasy Lab. Honestly, I don't like Fantasy Lab. I think their stuff is very limited, but I guess they're pretty good for inside sources and stuff for like the Bulls situation. I just don't like to optimize. I don't think it's that great. A lot of people think that because they see what's their name, people like CSU Ram or the top players basically. Like, don't get me wrong, I love some of these guys. They're really great. I love Bales. I love CSU Ram. They're great people. I mean, they put a lot of work into the industry. But the thing is with them, I don't believe they use the Fantasy Lab app. I believe they have their own algorithm on like a spreadsheet, and they use the spreadsheet to do the algorithm and stuff. I mean, they have to update it every minute, and so I'm pretty sure there's someone behind the scenes doing it for them. Because I mean, they got to make their own roster. So I really think Fantasy Lab. I tried it out for a couple of days and I didn't like it. Okay, so Kelly Oubre. I don't like him because his ceiling is not high enough, and he's not that great of a shooter either. He's not that great of a shooter, so he has to do peripheral stats. He has to get you rebound, steals, and block, and that's the way he gets his value. If he doesn't get that, then his ceiling is really low, and his floor is not high enough for me. There is better value. I mean, you look at Shabazz Muhammad. He's a better value than Oubre, and Oubre is only Muhammad's only $300 more. So to go down to 3,500 when you can get a Shabazz Muhammad with a ceiling of 25 points, 30 points, it's almost better to go down that road. Jake's Gentleman or whatever. You need to tell me what game or the late game because I don't play late game. I always play all day slate. I play all day, guys. Yeah, nothing on the Bulls yet, so it's kind of frustrating. Shooting forward under 4,600. Yeah, there's a bunch. I like Jared Dudley, PJ Tucker, and Shabazz Muhammad. Okay, so with Jeremy Lin coming back in, I'm gonna replace him with Donald. I'm gonna put Donald Sloan out and put Jeremy Lin in on the spreadsheet. So make sure everybody catches that. And if you want to purchase the spreadsheet, go ahead and just send me the payment. It's only $2, so okay. So the Miami Denver game, Houston and Cleveland. Uh, there's really not a sleeper there, but if anything, Tyler Johnson or J.R. Smith, they're both gonna be very sneaky and they're cheap. But I still expect ownership on them. If anything, Joe Kick will be the sleeper at center versus Miami, but I think Hassan Whiteside will do pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and fade Joe Kick. Knight or MCW as point guard to pair. I like Michael Carter Williams better than Knight to pair with Isaiah Thomas or Lillard. I don't mind Knight, but the thing is with Knight, he's very inconsistent. and he's just coming back from an illness, and I don't know what type of illness it was. So it could be a flu, it could be diarrhea or whatever. It could be anything. So I don't know what illness he was dealing with. So I'd rather do Michael Carter Williams. He's gonna be in a higher paced game. Okay, trying to find some news. Oh, Lillard. I'm all in on Lillard tonight, guys. I love Lillard. Lillard's going to be a great play. Defense first position is there. The pace is there. The spread is there. Um, he has high usage. Right now, John Wall is dealing with a hip injury. It's like kind of like a bruised hip or something like that. So I'm not going to have too much exposure to him, as I'd rather have Lillard with the situations he's in. Oh, Terrence Jones in a heartbeat. I'm not going to touch Montrell Harrell. Terrence Jones actually been doing very good lately. I think he has like 225-point games or something like that. Let me go ahead and find him real quick. Yeah, he had a 28-point game the last game and a 35-point game the game before that against Memphis. And then he had a 12-point game in an overtime game, but I think he got hurt in that game. And then against Utah, he had 26. So it looked like he's starting to come around. He's at only 4,800. Yeah, I know. You guys ask me a lot of questions and stuff, and the thing is, I can give you the advice and stuff, but if you ask me for this and that, but I see this, I'll give you my point on it, but it's up to you. And I'm glad you didn't fade Jimmy Butler, because anybody that faded Jimmy Butler last night, you had to have almost like a perfect roster to cash without Jimmy Butler last night. I like LeBron James the most out of the three. I'm always gonna like LeBron James the most because one, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, whoever gets going to first, it's always gonna do better. But then LeBron James gonna be LeBron James. Um, Matt, I don't like either one of them. Ryan Anderson or Ibaka. If I had to choose one, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Ryan Anderson because he's in the higher pace game and a better Vegas spread game. So I would go with Ryan Anderson, even with him back. Oh no, it without a doubt. I mean, the next highest scoring yesterday was who? Who was it? I don't even know who the next highest scoring per point was yesterday, but I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know. All right. Any news on the Bulls, guys? On the Bulls. Okay, so while we're doing this, since nobody's asking questions right now, okay. Oh yeah, it was Cousins, huh? Fantasy Lot says Rose is intended to play. Okay. I still like Noah then. I still like Gibson. I don't like Portis. I'm never gonna play that little punk. If Rose plays, I still like Butler. Maybe not as much, but I still like him. Yeah, Gasol is the key main player that I need to know because if Gasol is out, I'm gonna go with Noah at value at center. Noah, Mir, and what's his name? I was just talking about him. I forgot the other center value that I said, but yeah. I don't mind Todd, but the thing is, I'd rather go Cody Zeller. Cody Zeller has more point opportunity and higher projection. Todd is just a rebounder and he scores point and what's his name? He gets blocked. Yeah, it was Cousin that had a big game yesterday. He had like a 60-point game, but yeah. Basically, if you had Cousin and Butler, you were in awesome shape. I didn't do too bad, so I was pretty happy. Yep. Tristan Thompson had a good game yesterday, but the thing is with Tristan Thompson, he's so inconsistent that I can't trust to put him in my rosters. I mean, me myself, I do about 200 to 100 rosters every day, and then I also do what's his name? I do my cash game roster, and so to cover my plays. So I can't trust Tristan Thompson to get that kind of upside every day. I can see him doing it tonight probably, but I don't know if I want to play him. I really do like my power forward value right now. Okay, Paul George is still a great play. Um, what's his name? Not going to make that big of a difference. George Hill. So Paul George is still a good play. I still like him. Paul George is my favorite shooting forward tonight. So I really like Kevin Durant too on LeBron. But if I had to pick a lower price, it's Paul George. So speaking of lower price, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the sneaky contrarian plays that can be like kind of sneaky. People won't own them. So let me go ahead and look at my list of what I have. At point guard, I think a point guard that nobody will be on will be Brandon Knight. Not a lot of people will be on him, and he has a high usage. So I like Brandon Knight for a lower tier point guard or Michael Carter Williams. I think a lot of people will be off Kyrie Irving too from last night's performance, and he could have a good game tonight. So I would have a share of those guys. At shooting guard, everybody's going to be on Giannis. I think the lowest owned player is going to be CJ McCollum because of his price and stuff, but I'm not going to have shares of him. I'm going to go, if it was a sneaky play, I'm going to be on Avery Bradley. I like Avery Bradley tonight. I don't know about 20 points, man. Sometimes he gets like 10 or 15. It sucks. But yeah, 20 points is ideal. At shooting forward, Nico Batum is going to be the lowest owned. Nico Batum and Jay Crowder. And I think Jay Crowder is in an excellent matchup in a high-paced game, Vegas over and under, and the best game to target. So I love Jay Crowder tonight. At power forward, going to be Anthony Davis. Nobody's going to want to play him. So he's going to be very low owned for the bigger guys. I like Thaddeus Young, and nobody's talking about him. So I like Thaddeus Young tonight. So I'm going to have my shares of him. At center, I think it's going to be Karl Anthony Towns. Very low owned and stuff. So I'm going to go with Karl Anthony Towns or Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard always low owned. He's been making me a lot of money lately when he plays. He's very low owned and nobody likes him. I never play Kenneth Faried. I never play him. He doesn't have high enough ceiling. Very low floor. I mean, not a high enough floor either. So I don't play Fareed a lot. But yeah, those are the guys I'm gonna be looking at that are lower tier. All right, anybody got any more questions at all? Yeah, Monte Ellis is a good play today. I think with actually no, I don't like Monte Ellis too much. Bradley Beal's back and he has pretty decent defense. It's nothing like before. I was thinking Garrett Temple or Gary Neal were gonna play him. So I'm not gonna be on Monte Ellis too much. The highest exposure player. Damian Lillard, Isaiah Thomas, James Harden. No. Jimmy Butler, James Harden, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. Power forward actually going to be pretty even, but I think Anthony Davis. That's the thing. I can't predict that. I can't predict power forward. I would say Paul Millsap and Chris Bosh probably. At center is going to be either Zaza Pachulia or Brook Lopez. And the highest value owned tonight is going to be I would have to say Tyler Johnson or Amir Johnson along with Cody Zeller. Okay. No, I don't like playing. I don't like playing players on minute restriction. You got to think about it. If that player only plays 12 minutes because of something, because the coach doesn't like how he's playing, your lineup is screwed just based on that decision. And with so many good shooting guards available tonight, and I don't mean good, I mean just good values. So I rather go another direction. Bradley Beal is very just can't trust him right now. He's not getting his full slate of minutes. As well, what's their name? Indiana has a pretty good pace against defense, so can't trust them. Let me see how he did the last game too, because I didn't see that. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he only got 20 points, and he got 22. He got 22 minutes. I mean, it's not bad, but the thing is, that minute restriction is not going to allow him to get his full projected point. I mean, to meet 5-time value, he has to get. He's 7,000, so 1428, about 35 points to meet that GPP value. So I can't trust that. I mean, he would basically have to get almost like 2 points per minute. All right. Anybody else have any other question? Oh yeah, in a heartbeat. Middleton over Wigan for sure. I love Middleton tonight. I think he'll have another 35-point game. He's gonna be good tonight. Okay, 1 second. Hey, Frederick or Fred, I just sent you email, so you should be able to get the spreadsheet right now. The key is going 300 points on DraftKings. Value, getting your values right. A lot of people do this and they do it the wrong way. From what I learned, I'm playing DraftKings to FanDuel. It's very different. On DraftKings, people do this. Oh, this player is only 3,000. Oh, this player is only 3,500. Oh, this player. So they get 3 of them, right? And then they go ahead and get 5 superstars or 4 superstars. But the thing is, if those superstars fail to get value, and then your value picks up, you're gonna have like a normal roster. It's not even gonna be a top GPP roster. You in DraftKings, I always tell people, even in FanDuel, the key to getting a value player, a good value player, it's not, oh, he's 3,800, he got me 18 points, he met value. You want to exceed that. You want to get 8 to 6 to 7 times value. So once you're in that range, you're scoring 300. And you want to get sometimes even 10 times value. If you can get that, awesome, because that's going to make you go over the top. That's what's going to carry you. It's not, oh, I'm going to get this sneaky play and I know he's going to get me 18 points. Nah. Because here, I'll pull up a roster. I'll pull up yesterday's highest scoring roster on FanDuel. I think yesterday highest scoring roster was like 388, if I'm correct. All right, so let's look at this one. It scored 381. Loading real quick. And for some reason, it's not coming up. All right, so he had Rajon Rondo, Mario Chalmers, Jimmy Butler, Lewis Williams, Kawhi Leonard. Okay, hold on. Todd Gibson, Robert Covington, Tristan Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins. So if you really think about it, his best value was Covington. He got him 37 points. So Covington met, I believe, almost 10 times value. Let's see. Let's do the math real quick. Covington was 4,200. He got 37 points. So he got 8.9 times value. Then we're going to go ahead and look at Mario Chalmers, which he was 5,200. He got 45 points. So he got 8 times value too. So players like that, and then Tristan Thompson, he got about 8 times value. Todd Gibson, he got 5 times value. So that's the thing. You got to answer the right values. And people overlook that. They think just because they hear a breaking news, they can enter a player. But the thing is, you have to enter the right player. You can't just say, oh, I like this player because of this and that, you know? So that's exactly how I would go. I would either get 2 or 3 solid values and then build around my core. I would get a core player. So like if I was doing DraftKings tonight, my core players would be Paul George and Damian Lillard, and then build around them. And then my value player would be Tyler Johnson and hold on, let me double check this because I know it's different on DraftKings. It would be Noah if he starts, but they haven't said anything. So Amir Johnson, he's still a pretty good price there, I think. But I'm curious to know what price Jeremy Lin is on DraftKings because like I said, I play DraftKings only on slate that I like, so I don't like playing on big slate. I usually do the 6 to 5 game slate, or 6 to 2 game slate on DraftKings. But yeah, that's how I would go about constructing a roster over there. Ooh. Yeah, definitely Noah over Amir Johnson if Noah starts. Okay. Anybody else has any other questions that I can answer? Anybody have news update on the Bulls yet? They said anything? So George Hill was supposed to play. Nope, not finding any news yet. All right. Anybody got more questions? If not, then I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the feed and get to building rosters and stuff. So, anybody have any last questions before I go ahead and log off? All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll do this next Friday. We'll try to get more people on here. I'll try to promote it better. I don't like Nene or Gooden. I'd rather have other value. But all right, everybody, take care and good luck tonight. If you have any questions, go ahead and PM me. But good luck.